Good morning and welcome to Idaho Living. We are here on another beautiful day at the Village at Meridian.
It's gorgeous out. Hello, friend. It is beautiful. And what do we have?
I know, gorgeous flowers getting ready for Memorial Day.
Yes, and we're getting ready to have 50flowers.com on, and they let us use this from their little display. Just
beautiful.
Stay tuned. It's gorgeous. You'll
I mean,
love
how
it.
do they even get red, white, and blue tie-dyed roses?
Well, she told me.
Imagine.
Well, she told me how they do it, and it's so technical. I couldn't even begin
You
to
couldn't process what she
explain
was
it
saying.
to you.
I know.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, cool. Amy.
Yes, friend.
So you and I both traveled recently.
Yes.
And we're on airplanes.
Yes,
And we both came home with like little sniffles. So
it always happens, especially like on a long flight. I always get sick. It just drives me nuts.
I know, well, you're breathing that yucky air and you're
I wanna wear
smelling
one
all
of
the people
those-
around you.
Like if I wasn't so vain, I might wear one of those masks.
Right. Well, I always think when people are wearing masks, I never think of them for their own protection. I think that they're like protecting us. So I would think if I was wearing a
think the
mask, people might
opposite.
think that I have a communicable disease that I'm not wanting to share.
Oh, that's funny because I think just the opposite. I think, ooh, they don't want to get my germs. So, but listen, there was a lady on the flight and she was probably around 65. So, you know, she'd lived some life. So obviously she had some life experience.
Right.
And this is why I know this. She took out a little, it was a travel pack of wipes.
Like Sani wipes
Like
kind of
Sani
things?
wipes. She sat down. She proceeded to wipe down everything.
Like the seat
seat
back,
in front
tray
of
table?
her, the tray table, her armrest, everything. I bet she didn't get sick.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So I'm going to start doing that now.
Amy, we have kids. We should be traveling with those anyway.
I should be wiping my kid down with those Sani wipes after a flight.
All right, next time we see you on a flight, we expect you to be wiping and sanitizing your area.
But I just thought, why have I never thought of something? Because that's so
Yeah.
easy and so clever.
I know.
Okay, no, I'm going to totally change
Okay,
gears
change
because I
gears.
found something the other day that I love and I want to talk to everybody about. Okay, listen, I am eyebrow challenged. Katie knows this. I have enormous eyebrows, but in the 90s, I decided to tweeze them.
As we
And
all
I
did.
tweezed them and tweezed them and tweezed them until there was pretty much nothing left. So now I am left with drawing in my eyebrows for the most part, right? And I love it when I do it right because this is what Katie says to me, Amy, your brows are on point. It's one of my highlights of my life is when you say that. But it takes forever. Like it's not a quick process, right?
It's not a quick and run out the door kind of thing.
So I found this, and this is all rumpled now because it was in my purse and stuff, but it's from Maybelline, and it's called Tattoo Studio. You ever heard of this?
Right, and it looks like, I haven't heard of it, but it looks like they have awesome variety of shades of
Katie,
color.
look how fabulous my eyebrows
I know
look
that
today.
your eyebrows are
Do you know how
only-
long they took me?
Your eyebrows are on point.
Thank you, thank you. Do you know how long it took me?
How long did it take you?
Like maybe 15 seconds an eyebrow. I kid you not. And it doesn't like rub off, like it doesn't transfer. Listen, I have spent so much money on trying to find the perfect brush and the perfect
Right.
brow gel and all that stuff. Okay, so look at it, Katie.
Okay.
It has like a little fuzzy wand.
That's awesome.
And you literally just rub it over your eyebrows and pow, it's done.
Amy, what a great tip. And on that note, we have so much fun for you today on our show. We'll be reverent and celebrating Memorial Day and
Go get your
flowers, all
eyebrows
kinds of good
done.
stuff. Have nice eyebrows. Stay tuned.
Coming up, a beautiful way to celebrate. We'll show you hearty floral arrangements that will last beyond Memorial Day.
In keeping with our theme of honoring Memorial Day, we've invited Lisa Atwood with 50flowers.com to share with us some beautiful ideas of how you can celebrate Memorial Day with some gorgeous flowers and then also transition those to the graveside. Lisa, welcome.
Well, thank you, Katie, for having us again on your show. We always love to share some tips and tricks.
I
on
love it. You
how
guys-
to decorate.
You guys come up with the best ideas, and I'm so thrilled with what you have here today for
Yes,
us. So let's
it's
get
so
started.
exciting. So we have 3 different collections here that we've prepared for y'all. The first one is a very simple collection. We've included some DIY craftsy in the vessels. We've taken simple mason jars and painted them. We have instructions on how to do that on our website.
great.
And then secondly, we've also added, for those who don't want to paint, we've added these cute little jars that all you have to do is put a simple swatch around them. Within here, a pro tip that we would like to share is we've used flowers that will not wilt in the heat.
So nice hardy flowers.
Hardy flowers.
Well, and I love that idea. So you can have them on your tablescape, you know, if you're having a Memorial Day celebration, and then your family can go out and honor our fallen and take them right to the graveside, and they'll stand up for a few days.
They'll stand up for a few days, and you haven't spent a fortune on a vessel.
Right.
And in fact, all of these are vessels that you will not break a penny by leaving.
You're not taking your Kate Spade vase out to the graveside.
Or your crystal, your Waterford crystal. Second that we have is we just had to show off these tie-dye flowers, roses. And one thing to take into account when you are making a flower arrangement, they're normally clear vase, clear vessel. So you want to make sure that you're not showing your stems, because that can take away from the beauty of the flower. The third collection that we have is we've taken a collection of just cobalt blue,
like wine bottles,
wine
or something
bottles
that you've collected, right?
Exactly.
Like you upcycle them.
And you can set these at your front door, and as people come in, they can write a memory on a tag and hang it on the different bottles.
Oh, I love that idea.
Imagine this. Here you are, you have this lovely arrangement, you know, a plethora of flowers. You finish with your gathering, your barbecue, then you take it all to the gravesite. And you're decorating around. You can set these in a heart.
Oh, yes. And they're beautiful colors, too.
Exactly.
Of course, I love Americana themes. So.
Oh, yes, they're beautiful.
Yes,
Red,
and
white,
then
and blue.
this gorgeous hardy wreath right here you have for us.
This wreath, not only can you use it on your table as a decoration, but it's very easy to transport. And we have put different flowers in here that as they wilt and pass on, you can just pull them out and it will still stay somewhat put together.
Yeah, oh, that's a great idea. And you had some more pro tips on the ring. I love that idea you told me, because I've used those before.
Yes, so with Oasis, you want to
Oasis,
that's that green foam that you see. With Oasis, when you want to use it, give yourself about 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
And you're going to set it in a bucket and just let it slowly fall down,
absorb
and
the water.
soak up all of the water. You don't want to take it and shove
Try
it
and
down.
push it down. I've tried that before, like a brick or something to hold it down. Okay,
yes.
so let it just absorb slowly till it's fully submerged.
Exactly. And then that's all the water that will keep these alive.
Oh, I love that. And I like that you've used a mix, you know, like these flowers in here are readily available, so anyone can really put these together if they don't have time to order from you.
Exactly.
These may be a little more difficult to find, right? That's a pretty specialty item.
Yes.
But these are just beautiful. And as always, we appreciate having you here, and especially to honor those who have gone before us. So
Definitely. Thank you so much. It's our pleasure.
Up next, remembering those who gave all, how the state of Idaho is coming together this Memorial Day.
And later, sticking to your summer budget, the simple things you can do to spend your money wisely.
Memorial Day is a lot more than just about having a get-together and a barbecue with family and friends. It's a day where we remember those men and women who have given all for our country and for helping those around the world who need it most. And today we're so very fortunate and grateful to have James Earp with us here today. He is from the Idaho State Veterans Cemetery. Thank you for being here.
No, thank you, Amy. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Well, we are truly honored, and I mean that, to have you here and the work that you do. So Memorial Day is a lot more than just about having a barbecue, isn't it?
Absolutely. Just as you mentioned earlier in the introduction, that the Memorial Day weekend it launches everybody into this great opportunity to spend time outdoors, but also we should take the opportunity to understand the true meaning of Memorial Day, and that is actually to go back and pay our respects to those who served our military and died while in defense of our nation.
Absolutely. And I think this is a great time to take younger children, like start them out young to understand why they have what they have in this great country of ours. Do you see a lot of families bringing children out at this time of year?
Absolutely, Amy. On this weekend alone, our cemetery will have the most amount of visitors that we'll see all year, and we do. There's a huge bringing of families that come to the cemetery. Not only is it a place to take in, a great opportunity to teach your children, but also to visit a loved one's burial site. You'll see the cemetery will be adorned with beautiful bouquets of flowers all throughout the cemetery.
It's amazing, isn't it? Like
It's
when you see
absolutely
it.
gorgeous, yeah.
So tell us some of the things that are going on, because there are some events that are going on there. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So actually starting on Wednesday, the Wounded Warrior Project, some members of that organization will come out and they'll place flags along our Avenue of Flags. On Saturday, we have a couple things going on. Starting early in the morning, about 8 a.m., the Captain Arthur Jackson Young Marines will be out there to hand place flags at every burial site. And there'll be over 5,000 flags.
That just
and
gave
if
me
you have an
chills.
opportunity to come out there and talk to these young folks, it's truly an incredible experience as they take the opportunity to hand place each flag, render a salute, and it's very meaningful operation for the Captain Arthur Jackson Young Marines. They just reorganized as one group.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it's a great opportunity. And also on Saturday, about 10 a.m. From the Idaho National Guard, the 124th Medical Group will be issuing roses or handing out roses to visitors who arrive at the cemetery.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is part of a national program that on Memorial Day weekend, throughout veteran cemeteries throughout the nation, organizations volunteer to hand flowers out to families that visit.
Nationwide.
Nationwide. This is going to be the first time that we're going to be doing this here with this organization.
Okay.
And again, these are all volunteers from the Idaho National Guard's 124th Medical Group. Well, the ceremony will be held at the Idaho State Veterans Cemetery starting at 10 a.m. We encourage folks to arrive early. Public parking is at Optimist Park, and information on the ceremony can be found at our Division of Veteran Services website at www.veterans.idaho.gov.
Wow. Well, James, we just, again, so appreciate and are so honored to have you here. And I think this is a great opportunity for families to go out, to understand better what has been given up for their freedoms. And we just thank you for all that you do and for being here today with us.
Well, it's an honor, Amy. It truly is to serve Idaho, serve our veterans, and continue to serving in this great capacity.
Thank you so much, James.
you.
Still to come, rewarding yourself with wise spending, what you can do now to stick to your summer budget.
And protecting all members of your family, how you can keep your pets safe and healthy as they head out on summer adventures. This segment is sponsored by Mountain America Credit Union. Over the years, credit card usage has received a bad rap, and rightly so. But today we have Angie Nelson with Mountain America Credit Union to talk to us about responsible credit card usage and how it really can be good for you.
That's right. Thanks for having me today. Yeah, I'm here to talk about the old taboo credit cards and how, when used responsibly and with discipline, they can really actually be a tool that can help you with saving money and be part of a smart budget and spending plan.
And the key there is responsibility and discipline.
That's right.
And that's something that I know I've struggled with over the years, and I'm finally in my mid-30s, I think, at that point of what you're going to talk to us about today.
That's right, yes. Well, first and foremost, if you're going to do this plan and if you're going to take advantage of the tools that are out there, you really want to make sure that you're paying off the credit card every month. You don't want to spend more than what you have budgeted. You want to make sure that you have enough money in your checking account to cover it. But the rewards are out there. And of course, that's what I'm talking about is credit card rewards.
Right. I know many friends who have, that's how they do their family vacations, but they're disciplined enough to know they have X amount of dollars for their regular spending, but they always use their credit cards and then write that big check at the end of the month.
Exactly. Or you don't even have to wait until the end of the month. You can do it bi-weekly, or some people even do it weekly. One other great tip is to just use your rewards credit card for one single item. For example, I have a credit card that has rewards for 1% cash back for all purchases. However, it rewards 5% cash back for gas stations, which is amazing for me because I commute from Caldwell.
Oh yeah, so you're doing a lot of commuting. So you use that card, that specific card, just to put gas in your vehicle.
Correct.
Smart.
Yeah,
And then you're racking up those 5 times the points.
And sometimes I just put those points right towards the balance and help pay it off. So, you know, it's a win-win really. It makes it easier to manage the card and the money, and I earn rewards.
Now, what about, I know there's a thing with kind of your debt availability, the amount of credit you have available and how max it is. So
That's right.
is that something that can help us with our credit score per se, or?
Absolutely. Using credit cards can help or hurt your credit score. So the key is that you want to stay below the 30% utilization rate. What that means is you're using 30% or less of your available balance.
Okay, 30% or less, that's the key, friends.
And the other key is that you want to make sure that you are paying it on time. If you're only, especially if you're only paying it once a month, that's key. But it can help because you can also save more money in the long term if you do improve your credit score, because you're going to get better interest rates on loans and other things, and that can reduce the payment that you're making on a loan, like a car loan, and it's also you're going to spend less on the interest you've paid over the life of that loan. So
And I know that helps. Like last time you were on, we talked about mortgages and getting better mortgage rates. So this is a relatively simple thing you can do to kind of up that credit score to save a lot of money in the long run.
Exactly. And then another thing that you can do is that you can shop for a credit card that doesn't just have great rewards, but you can look for one that has a great introductory 0% balance and do a balance transfer, because there's a lot of Americans out there that actually are still carrying credit card balances and they're not getting them paid off. So this is a great tool that can help you get ahead, because you're not paying the monthly interest on top of the balance that you have, and you can actually make a dent in the balance itself, pay it off, and lowering the amount of credit that you have that's unsecured, or balances that you have that are unsecured. That can be a win-win as well for your credit score.
Yeah, that's a great tip, especially when you're trying to dig yourself out. If you can get that lower interest rate and pay it off quicker, that's all the better, right?
Yeah.
As quickly, is there a last little tip we want to give to our viewers?
Yeah, well, we did the math, and Mountain America has a My Style Rewards that actually, if you spend $3,000, this is money that you already have budgeted per month, for a year, you can get $500 back at the end of it. And that can be used towards holiday spending, that can be used towards your family vacation. So that's a great tool that's out there, and it might be worth checking out.
That's good to know. You're already spending the money, and then you get the $500. What a bonus.
Right, exactly.
Well, as always, Angie, it's such a pleasure to have you here representing Mountain America Credit Union. Thank you for these great tips. I know some of our viewers will definitely benefit from them.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Coming up, keeping your four-legged adventure buddies safe, what you can do to keep your pets healthy and happy this summer. This segment sponsored by All Valley Animal Care Center. With the summer months upon us, we can't forget our four-legged friends out there when it comes to things heating up. And today we have Dr. Jessica Loweth with us here from All Valley Animal Care Center. Jessica, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So the last time you were here, you were so helpful with information that you gave us. And I think that with the summer coming, this is super important to talk about, because animals can get overheated. I mean, they can die. And I think it's things that we don't really think about, because we think, oh, they're fine outside. They're an animal. But that's not the truth, is it?
No, unfortunately, and it's very much the opposite of what we were talking about in the winter months.
Yeah.
Obviously, in Idaho, it gets really, really, really hot, and unfortunately, our little guys, especially like Tank here,
Who is adorable.
I know,
It's not Katie that's panting. I just want everyone to know it's Tank.
It's Tank, and it gets warm. I mean, it's already warm outside today.
Yeah.
And our little guys start panting really hard, and it can be challenging for them. So,
Yeah.
doing things like making sure they have adequate shade and cool water when they're outside is extremely important, but trying to keep them indoors as much as possible where it's air conditioned is really vital.
And you know, I know that there are certain things that you can get for your animals, especially if you do keep them outside, or maybe there's just no way you can have them in the house for whatever reason. I know that there's pads that your dogs and cats can lay on that are they're cooled, like they have some kind of a
Like a cooling gel or
like
something?
a cooling gel or like a frozen center to it. What do you think of those?
Those are sometimes useful. However, you do have to read the warning labels on those a bit. They are, yes, they might chew them, but also they're not really safe if they're in direct sunlight. So if you have a kennel situation that's maybe shaded, and you might have a doghouse that might have a little bit of an airflow, it might be okay to use, but you do need to take into consideration that they might not work as well as you're hoping for, especially when they're outside. They don't always cool as well. They only tend to cool about 10 degrees below whatever the outdoor temperatures are to begin with.
That's good to know.
So, And so now, you know, it's summertime and we're talking about it being hot, well, vacation, right? So I know a lot of times it's the last thing I think of, like, oh, crud, you know, you call and the kennel's full to board them.
Right.
What about some options people might have?
So we certainly have a boarding facility, and we get booked up so quickly, obviously, during the summer months or during holidays. A lot of people will also consider pet sitting services or their neighbors, things like that, which are also good options because then your pet's more comfortable perhaps in their own home or maybe in the home of someone that they're familiar with. The only thing I like to remind people of is that it's very important that you make sure that person that's watching your pet has information regarding any major medical history, medications that the pet's on, that they're up to date on their vaccines, but more importantly that you yourself has provided that person with some sort of written documentation that this person has medical decision-making authority on your behalf if you're not reachable.
So we had talked about that just a little bit before we went on, and that's something I have never thought of.
Right.
And you said that there were you've had incidences where that's happened and they didn't have the authority to give you to treat the animal.
Right.
Really
Unfortunately,
tragic.
we do have to think about the fact that this is someone's pet and that not everyone wants to go through dramatics if there's something really wrong with their pet. So we do need to make sure that we are aware of just some sort of emergency situation so that we can have somebody make authority decisions. Even if you say, okay, you know, you can do $500 worth of stabilization care until you can get a hold of me, that helps a lot.
Okay.
Right.
So I've got a question about, you know, I know when dogs have a more blunt front of their face.
Like Tank.
Yeah. That they have some breathing issues, and when it gets hot, it's hard for them to cool that air down as they're breathing it into their system, and so they can overheat. When an animal has overheated, at what point is it gone beyond we just need to bring him inside and cool him down to we need to go to the vet's office and get some help?
That can be a really fine line, unfortunately. Dogs like Tank that already have issues with some breathing, whether or not they've had surgery. Tank recently has had what we call brachycephalic surgery to try to help increase his airflow. So dogs pant. When they're panting, they're just moving air through their system to cool down. They're not actually breathing.
So
so
I didn't
it's
know that.
very
Did you know that? Okay.
It's very easy for them to end up overheating, especially dogs like Tank. Any dog, though, can end up overheating in a really quick manner, and it can just be like a light switch. In most cases, we want to just make sure that if they are outside, they're in the shade, they have cool water. If we notice that they're really starting to have a rough time, that we get them indoors as quickly as possible. Some dogs might have collapsing episodes or just become really dumpy and maybe even mentally inappropriate, don't seem to respond to you very well. Occasionally dogs will start having vomiting and diarrhea, which then means that they're really starting to go into that heat stroke
So
shock.
do we need to go and see you at
Absolutely.
that point?
If you can cool your dog down just by, don't dunk them in ice cold water, but
Cool
cool them down with some water just to try to get their body temperatures start coming down. Their body temperatures can go up very quickly and it can be very detrimental for them.
Yeah.
Dr. Lowith, this has been really helpful. Thank you for always bringing the perspective of our fur babies to our audience.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Tank.
Yes, and thank you, Tank. You've been such a good boy.
You're so lovely.
And on that note, enjoy your Memorial Day.
And get out there and enjoy some Idaho living. We'll see you later. Thanks for being with us, Tank.